It is Sunday, the 18th of March, whoops-a-daisy, the day after St. Patrick's Day, and the day of the St. Patrick's Day parade. I'm just going to go put my unsafe sect picket sign back up, and it seems that a little bit of wind emanating from the Unitarian Church of Montréal blew it down. So anyhow, yeah, this is a pretty classic picket sign slogan that I've been displaying for quite a while now. Certainly was using it in the year 2000, and I think even in 1999. And I think it's fairly obvious that it's a play on the term safe sex, and it hints at clergy sexual misconduct committed by Unitarian Universalist ministers. Perhaps I should even use the term clergy sex abuse, because some clergy sexual misconduct is quite serious. It includes what the Unitarian Universalist Association's Canadian attorney describes as such despicable crimes as pedophilia and rape. So yeah, that's pretty unsafe sex, pedophilia and rape. So anyhow, I have been protesting against Unitarian Universalist clergy sexual misconduct for quite some time now. My protest began as a protest against Unitarian Universalist anti-religious intolerance and bigotry and related non-sexual clergy abuse, clergy misconduct, verbal and psychological abuse, abuse of power, and so on. But as a result of talking with Unitarian Universalist advocates for victims of clergy misconduct, such as Reverend Deborah Pope Lance, I quickly became aware that the Unitarian Universalist religious community does a terrible job of dealing responsibly with clergy sexual misconduct, and I became aware of a certain number of quite egregious cases of clergy sexual misconduct, indeed rape by Reverend Mac Wallace Mitchell of teenage Tibetan refugees who he had lured away from their families in India to his parish in the Boston area, and repeatedly raped over a period measured in years before one of them finally ran away and reported the sexual abuse of Reverend Mac Wallace Mitchell to some members of one of his congregations. He actually presided over two congregations, the Northborough and Westborough churches. In any case, the story is, and this is a reliable story that was printed in newspapers, is that, you know, one of the teenage Tibetan refugees who Reverend Mac Wallace Mitchell had repeatedly sexually exploited, and that's being polite, did run away, did tell several, I believe mostly female, leading members of one of the churches. I think it was a Westborough church, but I haven't, not 100% sure about that. Might have been the Northborough one, but I'm pretty sure it was the Westborough church. And what happened is there was an attempt to silence this particular victim. There was an attempt to have her sign a confidentiality agreement, basically keep everything hush-hush. But some of the church members decided to go to the police and report what they had been told to the police. And the police investigated and arrested and charged Mac Wallace Mitchell, and he was sentenced to, I believe, 8 years in jail for his rape of at least one teenage Tibetan refugee. So let's see here. Just seeing my battery's showing like it's about to die. It was at 60% power. I think the cold weather is affecting it.